Hey y'all, welcome back to the barn. I'll be your host for this evening. So I was just gonna do another update on my car build. Um, I think I'll do two videos so I don't talk about make one that's way too long or nothing. But last night, a couple of my buddies came over and we made some progress, as you can see. Oh, let me get this out of the way here. I'm just gonna throw it on the floor. Put that over there. Yeah, boom. There is a dual overhead cam 5.4. I want to say shoved into a new edge, but there's not a lot of room. It's huge. That's what I'll say. If you put this next to a big block Ford or Chevrolet motor with an intake on it, this thing would dwarf it. And at only 331 cubic inches, so the heads. Oh my god, you can see how big heads are on a 4-valve car. I mean, they're, I don't know, at least 8 inches across, if not more. But I don't know if you can see it. I tried to look earlier with the phone, but you can't really see. But you can kind of see in there the transmission's in, right? So we kind of slid it in as one unit. I got the converter filled up with fluid, or put a quart or some change in it. Put in transmission, bolted the transmission and motor together on my little makeshift jig that I've taken apart now, but just used some 4x4 pieces, 6x6 pieces, and made a little jig, held everything up, and got it all situated. And then we put it in as one unit with this tubular front end. So this whole assembly here, and this is my stock radiator, so I'm using it just to mock up and see how much room there is. All of this comes off, and I think you've seen previous videos I've kind of showed you. The whole front of the car is open, so the motor was never hardly above the K-member, right? So we just kind of, with a few guys, we lifted the transmission tail shaft up and over, and motor barely came off the ground. We didn't really have any issues. It was more just alignment, like getting the tail shaft brought up a little bit, but the thing slid right in. Kind of ran into some stock of the AC lines and heater core back here, but I'll try to come show you. There is still room to hook all that back up. So that's what I'm going to do. That's the dipstick for the transmission, but the heater core, yeah, I mean, that's pretty obvious. We want to keep heat in the car for defroster at least, or chilly evening or something. But there's the AC lines, right? And guys, I mocked it up before. There's room to get the compressor back in. Like, look, tons. So I'm going to get some more pipe routing done just to make sure. But I think I'm going to try to put the AC back in the car. It wasn't my original plan, but if it'll do it, why not? This isn't a just drag strip only car. This is going to go play on the street. So speaking of stock amenities, and this kind of just set in here for now, this is the stock Hydro Boost setup, right? So it's got to get bolted back in the car, but still, you can see it's close. I know it looks like it's hitting. No, it doesn't. You can see the big part has cleared the valve cover. But yeah, I think all praise to these 1/2-inch K-member spacers. I've seen people do it without it. I don't know how they did it, but respect to you, because I'm not sure how you fit it in there. But we even put it in after the motor was on the car. And I think, if maybe you had a different setup, like if I had my lift in here, we could, drop the car on the motor. That some of that stuff might work, but anyway, it's just the route we did. We took the, a couple pieces off and but we made it work. Yeah, pretty crazy. I test fitted the stock hood last night, and it will sit down. Now, the issue I had was when I mocked up the throttle body when the I'm blanking the words, but anyway, when the mechanical part of it, anyway, that's dumb. But some of the mechanical parts for the throttle body blade hit the hood when they turned. Now, I don't see why I couldn't turn it upside down or any other configuration. So I think that's totally possible. I'll try it out. If we can rock a stock hood with this car, that would be even more of a feat. I really am not a fan of like aftermarket cowl hoods and stuff. That's just me. Unless you absolutely need it, which you'd think you would on a car like this, because I mean, here's the fender. Here we are looking almost level with the fender, and holy smokes, but that hood comes real close to it, but doesn't hit it. So that'll be a challenge. We'll get there. Next is figuring out if we're going to use a stock radiator, maybe a Cobra one because they have metal end tanks just to be, this is an old one, and a stock fan, which works really well, or some kind of aftermarket thicker one, but you can see that moves back a little bit, but we're running out of room, boss. There's nowhere to stuff to go. Might have to route some intake piping through here, or through here. At some point there's going to be fender aprons made in there, and the plastic wheel wells, I think I'm going to buy a new set, or my old ones are kind of junk, so even find a good set from the junkyard. I don't know, something like that. But so kind of open right now, but we'll run everything and worry about the little stuff like that later. But yeah, here's the motor in the car. First step. So I'm going to go check on something. Oh, yep, we need to remind everybody of one more thing. Make sure that we're all watching TV tomorrow night, okay? I don't have any clue why it's in the Bay Area. This is a dumb decision. But anyway, if anyone wants to talk college football, we can do that later. So make sure you watch the Tigers. Go Tigers. And I'm going to make another quick video here just in a second to show you about the next step on the car as far as engine management and electronics. So, all right, y'all be good. Talk to you soon.